Okay, the premise is a bit silly, but don't let that put you off Dead or School. It's actually a really fun Metroidvania. The game starts off telling you that Tokyo has been taken over by zombies, and that humans have moved underground, under Tokyo's subway system in order to survive. Decades after the invasion, a girl named Hisako hears stories of the world before zombies from her grandmother, and decides to don her grandmother's old school uniform and retake the surface, so that she can go to school too. Yup, kinda silly. But despite this, the world, factions of humans and characters were really interesting. Different groups of humans have taken on different roles, and Hisako meets new people who provide her with advice and help her open up new areas of the maps. I need to state up front that I haven't finished the game yet. I'm over halfway through, so these are my thoughts on the game so far. I mentioned that this is a Metroidvania. Each station you visit is a new map to fight through with a boss at the end. Hisako has her sword, a machine gun or rifle, and a rocket or grenade launcher to help her fight through the hordes of zombies. There is a lot of options for customization of weapons and Hisako herself. You can unlock new abilities and stat upgrades in the character, and also buy new weapons, level them up and add modifiers to give you an advantage in battle. The game also forces you to vary up your weapons too, because you have limited ammo on the guns and your sword can only be used a certain number of times before it degrades. Save points will replenish ammo and your sword, but there were many times when I ran out of ammo for my machine gun, so had to rely on my other weapons. You've got your health gauge obviously, and that can be upgraded by completing side quests, and there's a stamina gauge too. When you run, dodge, shoot or slash your sword, you use up some stamina. This seemed like a kind of unnecessary mechanic. Given that this is a fast-paced action game, I felt like it hurt the flow of combat to need to stop and let stamina recharge every now and again. Aside from this though, battling was a lot of fun. There was a variety of monsters and every now and again you encounter an elite enemy, which is a lot faster and stronger than the others. Bosses were a bit bullet spongy, but otherwise provided a good challenge. The controls took a bit of getting used to, because the right trigger is used for shooting and swinging the sword. I tried messing with the default controls, but actually the original controls were the best setup, because you use the right stick to aim your gun, so attack is best mapped to the right trigger. It just didn't feel comfortable when you're using your sword. Like I said, I got used to it, but you may find like me it feels a little bit off at first. The graphics were decent and the environments varied. They were a bit dark, but this is to be expected since you are underground for most of the game. The screen at the bottom and top was taken up too much by the ground and the ceiling. I think the screen could have been more zoomed in to avoid this, but I guess you would have lost sight of some enemies. This wasn't always the case though. For example, during boss fights the screen was more open. Given this is a Metroidvania, you do need to backtrack and you will need to find keys and items in order to unlock new areas. There wasn't too much backtracking, and the maps so far for each level were the right size, so they didn't feel overly daunting or overstay their welcome. Overall, this is a really good Metroidvania. I don't think it adds a huge amount new, but it's a really solid entry to the genre, with a nice mix of action and RPG elements. So guys, are you planning to pick up Dead or School? And if you played it already, what did you think? Leave a comment below, and as always, thanks for watching.